Sadly, as you look around today, you can be overwhelmed by the amount of difficulty, distress and hardship that is in our world. People in Africa are struggling to find food still, and we've known about this problem for years. People in Western countries have got problems with overeating. How can that be? What a strange world we live in. What an alarming world we live in. And we have problems with the environment, which we're told, if we don't address today, now, here, with governments, will be worse than we could ever imagine in terms of their impacts on populations. My name's Simon Angus. I'm an academic in the Department of Economics. And it's this question, what's happened? What's happening around our world? This drives me to start a new subject for next year that I'd like you to come along and enjoy with me. It's called Prosperity, Poverty and Sustainability in a Globalised World. A subject that will have three main questions. What is growth and where does it come from? What is it that people overconsume in the West and yet don't have nearly enough food to live on in places like Africa? Why is it that within a country that's so rich like Australia, yet we have subgroups like the Indigenous population who live for such a shorter length of time, who have such terrible infant mortality statistics? How could that be? Is it growth? The second question is about poverty. What's going on with poverty? Why is it that there are places in the world that are so difficult and desperate? And why is it that there are other places that live in seeming luxury? It's really a question about the difference between two elements of growth. Why has it happened in some places and why has it happened not in others? I've got a particular concern about Africa. People sometimes say it's a matter of people. Well, there's plenty of people. Sometimes people say it's about environment. Well, not all of the environment, but some of the environment's pretty good there. Some people say it's about democracy and rule of law. Well, that's true. There's plenty of countries there that have got not the democracy we enjoy. And yet there are others that have democratic institutions, good rule of law, and yet many people starve. My third question is about the environment. Sustainability. Why is it that we still can't deal with the challenges that face us in the biodiverse world that we live? Why is it that we don't have a handle on species extinction yet? Why is it that we have a coming climate change problem that will probably see many people having to migrate for environmental reasons? These are my questions. They sound simple. What is growth? Why hasn't everywhere grown? And what's happening to the environment? Remember, the subject doesn't have any prerequisites. So that means we won't be using any maths or calculus or derivations, those sorts of things. We will, of course, be using figures, graphs, schematics, diagrams, pictures, and I'll be talking, of course. But that should mean that you feel quite comfortable as we discuss these issues. And it also allows us to be relatively in-depth in the way that we look at some of these questions. I know that economics perhaps has a name for being an overly mathsy subject, but please, I don't want you to be put off by thinking that. This is not a subject that will require you to do any maths or theory. This is a subject which is purely about challenging you and challenging me about what we should do about these pressing problems. If you'd like to know more about this topic, or ask any questions, or make any comments, or make any requests that you'd like to see in this topic, it's still being developed, remember, then please just send me an email, simon.angus@physico.monash.edu.au. I'd love to hear from you. If this excites you, if it interests you, or if you think these are the wrong questions, please let me know. I'd love to hear about it.